Last evening, it was clear that we did not have the resources necessary to fight the media war in New York.
Tsongas estimates his campaign may be as much as $1 million in debt. He says he simply can't justify spending any more. But he says he leaves the race convinced that he has gotten his message across to America.
During this 1 year and 12 days, a great adventure. This is the big leagues. This is where you affect your country. And this 1 year and 12 days, I think we've done more than all the other years I put into public service.
Tsongas' departure leaves Bill Clinton and Jerry Brown to fight it out for the Democratic nomination. He says he congratulates both of them, but right now Tsongas won't throw his support to either.
Today's announcement was a complete...
President of the United States...
They watched on a small black and white TV, the state director of the Tsongas campaign and a handful of volunteers, one wiping away a tear as Tsongas bowed out of the race.
We simply did not have the resources.
I'm really saddened by it. I'm really saddened by it because I feel that the man has a tremendous message.
The more I learned about him, the more I liked him. I think he would have been an exceptional president, and I'm just really sorry he's dropping out of the race.
Sorry because Tsongas did well in Washington, winning the Democratic caucuses.
We'd done so well, we had high hopes of sending him into the White House. So, you know, it's really sad. It's not a happy day.
And
some blame the news media, in part, for the candidate's failure to muster more support.
It's the best coverage he's gotten so far.
I don't think the media did him any favors. He's not a tremendously photogenic person. He doesn't play well, but you have to listen to him.
I see that the nation just goes for big front. Silver tongues, he wasn't hip and he wasn't promising. He was just stating the facts, and people somehow don't like to hear it.
Chris Laguerres, Cairo News.
Nitrogen, phosphorus,
And Jerry?
Why?
Don't forget to get out on the 18th. We need your support.
A Bush supporter and a contributor in the last election, she is now working for a Democrat.
The economy in general is just so bad. And what's frightening most of all, I think, is the fact that we have a president that just doesn't see it.
Difficult as teaching can be.
The police tell me
And zero-down financing. Black Pine Spas and Billiards, nobody beats our price, nobody.
My message would have been wounded, and all that we worked for this past year would have been put at risk.
Tsongas was expected to do well in Connecticut's primary this coming Tuesday. However, recent losses in Michigan and Illinois made it difficult to raise any more campaign funds. This announcement really came as a shock to local Tsongas supporters.
Many of them felt the candidate could go all the way to November. Como's John Larson joins us live now from the candidate's local campaign headquarters here in Seattle in the U District. John?
Well, as you might imagine, it's a pretty lonely place here tonight. Take a look around. I think you can get the picture. Maybe sweep up a little bit, return some of the telephones, and of course retire some of what has become a fairly sizable campaign debt.
The obligation of my survival has been met.
Everyone seated in front of the old black and white TV knew what was coming, but the candidate softened his defeat with a joke.
One is that I will suspend my candidacy for President of the United States, and because of the second phone call, I am pleased to announce that I've agreed to accept the presidency of the Speedo Bathing Suit Company.
The best part of the joke was that it wasn't a joke. Tsongas, a competitive swimmer himself, really will be the president of Speedo, the swimwear company. What he will not be, of course, is president of the United States.
But the hard fact is that the nomination process requires resources. And last evening it was clear that we did not have the resources necessary to fight the media war in New York.
When someone works long and hard for any candidate, like these workers have, it's difficult to admit it's over.
I don't think it's over with yet. I hope not.
In the confusion of the announcement,
so we don't know what it means exactly yet.
You try to be hopeful.
Are you a delegate?
But volunteers now see the Tsongas campaign more than $1 million in debt. And they see that mending bridges with the Clinton campaign will be difficult, if not impossible.
No, I know Bush will win now because Bush can clobber Clinton.
It's hard when you're so supporting somebody, you're so emotionally involved with one candidate, and your chief rival is there and going on, I think it's always hard for people then to just jump on board with somebody else.
It's going to be very interesting.